Good morning to you, FGO fans. My oh my, what a 7th anniversary we have had already. Archetype Earth is here. Arcueid, 5-star Moon Cancer Buster AoE NP. She is an absolute powerhouse. I'm impressed. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be impressed. It's going to be really fun to see what a lot of the comps she will enable going forward in the future. But before I get ahead of myself, before we get into that, let's go ahead and get our intro going, get our bearings, and see what she's got in store for us. So we have here Archetype Earth, 5-star Moon Cancer, as I said, double Buster, double Arts kit. She has 4 hits on her 2 Arts cards. That really doesn't matter, and not for the reasons you might think. We'll take a look at her passives. You might be surprised to see. She has a star weight of 50, a star gen of 15. On a lot of servants, those would be bad. She doesn't care. It's double coin sky system. She's going to be able to gather stars if she even wanted to use them. Honestly, she's lethal. She's lethal. Down here in her first skill, Rainbow Mystic Eyes, she has a skill seal on all enemies, a defense down on all enemies for 3 turns, and an attack up for herself for 3 turns, effectively creating a 50% attack up for herself in the game's damage algorithm. Now, for that first wave, they're going to be dead. They're just going to be dead. When you see the rest of her kit, you'll understand. But the reason this is interesting is because it has a 6-turn cooldown, and we'll talk about an easy comp right off the top of my head that is probably going to make her absolutely broken good. The second skill is probably the most prominent aspect in her kit. It is a 100% NP charge at level 10. It does have a 7-turn cooldown, but that doesn't matter, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. However, she gives NP damage up for herself for 3 turns. That's 10 to 20%. On this third skill here, we have a 1-time over 3-turn invincible, a 1-turn buff removal resist of 100% for good alignment party members, and then she will charge the NP of party members if she's on a Millennium Castle field. Everybody except herself, 20 to 30%. That's a 6-turn cooldown. Now, let's talk about how this comes together. On this second skill here, what we see, again, with the 7-turn cooldown, because it's 100% charge, it just does not matter. It just does not matter. Double Coin Skya plus Atlas Mystic Code is absolutely going to let you charge your NP twice in a battle. So, first turn, let's say you walk in with Black Grail, which, by the way, you can get with the SSR CE ticket. Funny how that worked out as well. So you walk into that node with a Black Grail on her, Double Coin Skya, Atlas Mystic Code as well. You pop this skill right here, presumably at level 10. She NPs right then and there using Double Coin Skya Buster buffs as well. Then, the second wave, she is completely recharged by the Double Coin Skya batteries. NPs again. On the third wave, Atlas Mystic Code knocks the cooldown of this down again. She's ready to NP with 100% battery once more. This is the same morning she's released, and this is right off the top of my head. There are going to be a ton of extremely interesting and very powerful comps involving her over the course of the following months, and if not longer than that. She's really strong. One thing to note, you will be stacking not only the NP damage up, but also the attack up. And as we look at her NP here, the Millennium Castle effect is not going to go away. It's not going to go away. So she'll change the field to Millennium Castle right up front on her 4-hit Buster AoE NP. Then she will deal super effective damage to chaotic alignment enemies. Standard scaling for Buster at 300 to 500%. But because it's super effective damage, and she has attack up, and she has NP damage up, you're looking at, honestly, an incredible amount of firepower bringing to the table here. She will also charge the NP of targets in the party that have living human trait, except for herself, 20 to 40% that scales off overcharge. That's a pretty nice overcharge to have. We have to take a look at these passives. Honestly, they're really impressive. She's got Territory Creation EX, which is 12% up for her arts. Independent Action, Magic Resist, those are very good as well. 21% debuff resist and 10% crit damage up. However, there's another passive here that's very interesting. 30% up for her Quick, Arts, and Buster cards if she's on a Millennium Castle field. That seems like insanely good to me. I could be misreading this. I almost would love to be wrong here just because that seems kind of crazy good. It's also why I mentioned earlier in the video that the number of arts cards, the number of hits that they have, and her NP gain, all of it, it's not really going to be indicative of what she can get off of attacking to get her NP going if that's the route you have to take. Because of the fact that she has so much firepower just in passives alone, with arts up, crit damage up, and this tricolor buff as well. It's really misleading, and she's honestly going to be a lot more easy to get going than it seems like if you take a cursory look at her kit. Now down here on her Append skills, she does have anti-foreigner attack up on her third Append. I really like that. I'm glad it's an extra class. It's probably tied to the story going forward, obviously. I think we all know that, but I'm really glad it's not one of the main Knight or Cavalry classes. I don't know why, but it just feels nice. So here on her traits, we can see that she has the star attribute. That is interesting in and of itself, but it's expected if you know about her character. She can also change her alignment from chaotic to neutral back to chaotic depending on her ascensions. That's extremely interesting. Probably enables a lot of fun different comps that a lot of people will be exploiting in the months and years to come, hopefully. Really, really interesting and dynamic kit here. Over here in her materials, they're really accessible. I think that's probably going to be obvious due to her class, but we have to consider the context as well. So it's not just that she has caster and berserker pieces, monuments, gems, etc. It's not just that she doesn't really need a lot of gold materials at the upper levels, especially when you consider that she really only needs that second skill to be maxed out in order to completely take advantage of her potential. Her first and third are very good as well, and you'll want those up, but the second is what absolutely has to go first. We have to consider the context as well. 7th anniversary brought a lot of quality of life updates, a lot of perks as well. Pure prisms are probably very accessible if you're past a certain point in the story. You've just gotten a lot of them. That, plus the amount of sync quartz we just got, you may have had an easier time getting her, as opposed to if you hadn't gotten any sync quartz. And the fact that all dailies are now open. Even after this time period, when they are all open and half AP, they will all be open every Saturday and Sunday going forward. This is an extremely accessible servant that you can deal a ton of damage with. I don't know how else to say it. Extremely accessible, you can deal a ton of damage. Not only with 7th anniversary going on, half AP classes all open, not to mention the fact that the pure prisms play a huge part. Even outside of that, if she gets a rerun banner, it's going to be much the same. Yes, you are still summoning for a limited SSR, and she very much deserves that placement as a limited SSR. We've talked about value. We've talked about whether limited SSRs really should be limited SSRs, and I've not held back when I've said that some of them honestly should not have been limited SSRs. This is a limited SSR. When she has a rerun, you will still have Saturday of all classes open, Sunday of all classes open. You will still have very easy access to pure prisms based off of ascending your servants. This is like a dream scenario if you need a powerful AoE DPS. Now, because of all that, on her Append skill level up materials, they are even more accessible than they would be normally. Yes, you do need 9 roots, you do need 9 eggs as well, but again, the context really, really matters here. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't usually talk about this in these kinds of videos, and I love doing these videos, but I'm gonna roll for a lot of her. I'm gonna roll for a lot of her. I'm just gonna be honest. She's extremely interesting, not only from a lore perspective, but from just a sheer output potential. And again, contextually, it's a ripe time to have this kind of servant fall into our laps. Over here in our Bond CE, we do have Moon Margaret. This seems good at first. 25% NP damage up if she's on a Millennium Castle field. However, again, context matters. We just got a 5-star CE ticket. One of those 5-star CEs is Black Grail. You can absolutely just do better than this straight up. The stats are capped on this, and even if you were to run some kind of fun Archetype Earth ×2 comp where they both have their Bond CEs on them, you're still only looking at a 50% increase. It's just not going to be worth it for you to run that instead of just a Black Grail outright, which you can now pick with the SSR CE ticket. So that is Archetype Earth. Impressive, honestly. She's going to be an NP damage machine. Not much in the way of survivability. She does have that 1-hit over 3-turn invincible. I don't think that's going to matter. Not much in the way of crits, stars, gather anyway. It doesn't matter. It's not going to matter, honestly. It's very clear that she was created with Double Coin Skya plus Atlas Mystic Code in mind. You're going to be able to 3-turn comp with her a lot, not just for farming, but also for boss fights, challenge quests, etc. Really, really interesting servant right here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was at least helpful to you for getting like a quick read on the servant. That's why we do these videos. Please do subscribe, hit that like button as well. As a smaller, newer, growing YouTube channel, that helps me out a ton. But look forward to more of these in the future. I love doing these kind of videos, especially when it's a servant like this, man. So much fun and such a great anniversary servant. Once again, they hit a home run on an anniversary servant. It's to be expected at this point. Thanks again for watching. Take care of yourselves. Good luck on your rolls. I will see you next time. Later. double coin sky. Okay. What even is that? Nothing. A double archetype Earth comp in which they both have this bond CE. No demerit from Black Grail. Again, is it as much as in Heaven's Field? Is it as much as a Black Grail? It's not. It costs a little bit less. No, this is stupid. No one would do that. No one would do that. It's just less. I don't know why I'm trying to sell it. No one's gonna fucking do that. Okay. Like, it's pretty. It's got a fucking flower. Cool. All right. There we go.